Good morning. I've just killed my boys. Tragedy in Texas as a mother calls 911 after allegedly killing her children. Meanwhile, a critical peace mission in the Middle East as Colin Powell tries to restart negotiations between the Israelis and Palestinians today, Monday, May 12th, 2003.
From NBC News, this is a special edition of Today with Katie Couric and Matt Lauer. Live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And welcome to Today on a Monday morning. I'm Matt Lauer. We're going to have much more on those serious subjects in just a few minutes. But first, don't adjust your television sets. I've got a special co-host today.
That's right. Katie and I are trading places today. I'm Jay Leno.
It's great to have you here.
Well, thank you very much.
No, this should be a lot of fun. Katie and Jay are trading jobs. Katie's in Los Angeles right now, getting ready to host The Tonight Show.
That's right.
On your behalf, and you've decided to join us here this morning, which should be a lot of fun. It's all part of our Trading Places
That's
week.
right. That's right. And, well, I'm going to interview Colin Powell a little bit later and get a little more serious. He was in Jerusalem yesterday, and I came in and we did that interview on tape, so that should be fun.
Also, you've got Rudy Giuliani, right?
Rudy Giuliani will come on as well, and we'll talk about what he's doing. He's got a new book out and leadership, and he'll tell us where he gets so much of his courage and inspiration.
It should be fun. I'm looking forward to those interviews. Also, we should tell you that some say this photograph, did you hear about this Kentucky Derby
I did hear this
dispute?
story, yeah.
This photograph allegedly, according to some, shows that the jockey in that race, the winning jockey, Jose Santos, was carrying more than a whip in his hand when he rode funny side to victory in the Derby. We're going to talk about the ongoing investigation, and you probably know that Jay loves cars, and you're going to get to have a little fun with that this morning.
That's right. We'll have some fun. We're going to be driving very quickly in a strange car in a new city, and I've been up all night, and Matt's going to go with me. So this should be fun. So we're going to try and slide around and see what happens.
Don't try this at home, all right? We'll flash those words on the set.
I'll try it at home.
Anyway, we're thrilled to have Jay here this morning. Before we get to the top stories from this side of the desk, let's get to the top headlines with Ann Curry over at the news desk. Ann, good morning to you.
Matt, good morning. Welcome, Jay. Great to have you
Ann.
here. Good morning, everybody. In the news this morning, the U.S. military in Iraq has discovered what's being called the most significant find so far in the search for weapons of mass destruction. You're looking at exclusive pictures of a looted trailer found by soldiers outside a rocket and missile plant near Mosul. Officials say it was equipped to make bioweapons, including anthrax. Well, today the U.S. will begin staging simulated radiological and biological attacks in major cities in a big test of the nation's readiness for terrorism. NBC's George Lewis reports now from Seattle.
The exercise kicks off at noon today with a simulated explosion in this debris-strewn vacant lot south of downtown Seattle. It's all part of a huge drill called Top Off 2. Top Off stands for top officials of the state, federal, and local governments who will be participating.
We're ready to handle whatever is going to be thrown at us.
This simulated act of terror involves a so-called dirty bomb, an explosive device wrapped with radioactive material designed to spew deadly radiation over a wide area. It took demolition experts 2 weeks and a budget of $275,000 to create this scene of destruction. After the simulated blast, police and firefighters will respond as they would in a real terrorist attack.
At some point, they'll detect radiation, and for 36 hours, we are going to be going through an exercise to respond to that kind of radiological attack on our city.
As Seattle worries about coping with radiation victims, starting tomorrow, Chicago will go through a simulated biological attack, with sick people filling up hospital emergency rooms. Exercises designed to get local agencies working smoothly with the new Federal Department of Homeland Security in the event of a real attack. George Lewis, NBC News, Seattle.
A Texas mother is being held on $3 million bond this morning, charged with killing 2 of her children. It is a crime that has stunned the community of Tyler, Texas. NBC's Jim Cummins reports now.
It has shocked everyone who knew the Laney family, Keith and Deanna and their 3 sons, Joshua, Luke, and Aaron.
We received our 911 call this morning at about 1 a.m. and the woman, a female, stated, "I've just killed my boys."
Police say while her husband slept, Deanna allegedly murdered her 2 oldest sons and critically injured the baby, using rocks to bash their heads in, saying God told her to do it. Brother-in-law Gary Bell is the pastor of the church the Laney family attends and an uncle of the murder victims.
This tragedy has happened to a family that is a solid family. a family that is very devoted and committed to church and church life.
The neighbors can't believe Deanna Laney would murder her children.
Not that lady.
Why? Why do you say that?
She's always been a super nice lady. I don't know. I don't believe that.
They're real friendly. They wave at you, whatever. You know, they were real nice people, though.
It's like another Texas murder case. Andrea Yates drowned her 5 children and told police she did it to save them from the devil. Yates had a history of mental illness, but was convicted of murder anyway. So far, no indication of mental illness in this case. Deanna Laney has been charged with capital murder, and her bond has been set at $3 million. Jim Cummins, NBC News, Dallas.
In parts of the Midwest, people were hit with another round of violent weather over the weekend. Tornadoes hit Kentucky on Sunday, killing at least 1 person. Severe storms also hit Illinois, Missouri, and Iowa on Saturday. And former POW David Williams was honored Sunday at SeaWorld in Florida, getting a chance to get up close and personal with Shamu, the killer whale. Whatever flips your tail, I guess that's what we call a whale of a good time, guys.
Okay. And thank you for the jokes, sir.
Yeah, comedy could use a little work in the morning. Yeah.
That's why you're here. That's why you're here.
I see why I was brought in now.
A little too late. We don't have the same staff of writers, okay?
You don't have to tell me.
Whoa! Leno, not taking prisoners early. We need a rim shot.
Mr. Roker, what's the weather look like?
I'm a little afraid now. I don't know. I never noticed how blue your eyes were.
Why, thank you.
Okay, let's take a look. Show you what's going on. We'll show you for today. Good news is no severe weather. The rough tornadoes, that's all done with. We do have a big upper low over the Great Lakes. That's bringing rain to the Great Lakes all the way into New York State. Wet weather in the Pacific Northwest with some thunderstorms, some strong storms in western Texas. Hit or miss scattered showers and thunderstorms over central and northern Florida. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. The latest weather now back to Matt.
All right, Al, thank you very much. On Close Up this morning, a tragedy in Texas over the Mother's Day weekend. As we've reported, a mother of 3 is in jail this morning for allegedly murdering 2 of her sons and leaving her 14-month-old baby in critical condition. 38-year-old Deanna Laney called 911 telling police that God had told her to kill the children. Sheriff J.B. Smith is with the Smith County Police Department in Tyler, Texas. Sheriff Smith, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
Can you describe the 911 call that came from Mrs. Laney? What did she sound like? What did she say?
Well, Matt, it was very matter-of-fact like. It was almost like listening to a young girl calling for a pizza delivery. She had no emotion in her voice. As a matter of fact, a very sweet, calm voice. Displayed no emotion at all. Stayed on the cell phone with us the entire time from the moment she called the 911 to report it. Described how to get to the house, where the baby was, where the children were, and where she was standing. She was approximately 100 to 200 yards behind the house in her nightgown. So it was just a very matter-of-fact, very sweet tone of voice.
And as we mentioned, she said sometime during that call that God had told her to kill the children. When the sheriff's deputy arrived at the house, what did he find, Sheriff?
He found an open door. As he walked in, he immediately walked into the first bedroom and found the 14-month-old face up with a pillow over its head and blood all over the crib. That's when the husband walked out. Evidently, he had been asleep through this entire thing, but that's understandable because we believe that she led the children out one at a time, murdered them. She even described where the rocks were that she murdered the children with. And the rock was probably rocks about the size of a dinner plate, average plate. And after she killed them, she laid the rock on their chest, underneath their chin, and then walked away from the house.
These boys were 6 and 8 years old, the 2 boys who died. Did Mrs. Laney say anything to the sheriff's deputy when he arrived and when he discovered the bodies? I understand she told him where the bodies were, but would not go back there and show him, correct?
No, she would not go over. She said, I'll tell you where the bodies are, but I'm not going to go back over there.
By all accounts, Sheriff Smith, this is a good family, a good mother. She homeschooled these children. She attended church. People in the neighborhood, you just heard the story, people in the neighborhood said she'd smile and wave as she went by. Is there any history of trouble within this family?
No history whatsoever. We have no record of ever answering a call, even in that area. The family has been very stable. As a matter of fact, there's no history of medication for any kind of mental illness. Nothing like that. This is different than the Yates case. It's going to take different turns.
What about Mr. Laney? Has he offered any clues as to what might have made his wife snap like this?
He was pretty much in a state of shock up until, I guess now. We will probably interview him today. At the present time, he's in Dallas with the baby.
I understand that Mrs. Laney is obviously in jail. She's on a suicide watch. What has been her range of emotions since she was taken into custody?
Well, she has a wide variety of emotions. Sometimes she lays down and in a fetal position and cries. A couple of minutes later, she's up walking around the cell praying. 5 minutes later, 2 minutes later, she's singing gospel music. Then she gets a sort of a flatline look across her face where she doesn't comprehend or understand anything. Then she immediately goes into, all of a sudden, she appears that she understands what she did and starts crying and saying, "Oh, what did I do?" It's just a wide variety of extreme emotion.
Of course, this all happening just a day before Mother's Day. J.B. Smith. Sheriff Smith, we thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Matt.
It's 11 minutes after the hour. Now here's Jay.
Okay, Matt, as we mentioned, Secretary of State Colin Powell is on a peace mission to the Middle East. Sunday, he met with the Israeli Prime Minister, and the new Palestinian leader, and then he took time out to talk to me. Here's that interview.
Before we get started, I want to ask you, do you remember the name you wanted to be called? You were on The Tonight Show once with me a number of years ago, and you said there's a name you really wanted to be called by. Do you remember?
Yes, I do, Jay. I think it was Skip.
Skip, yeah. Somehow Skip doesn't apply today. Mr. Secretary, I'll go with, I think. You just don't seem like a Skip. As much as you would like to be called that, it just doesn't seem to work. Let me ask you, how hard is it to be diplomatic in the Middle East right now?
Well, it's a challenge, but I'm pleased to have the opportunity I had today to speak to Prime Minister Sharon and members of his government, as well as the new Prime Minister of the Palestinian people, Prime Minister Abbas. And we have a new moment of opportunity here in the Middle East, Jay. With the end of the war in Iraq, President Bush has turned his attention to this part of the world again.
Well, let me ask you about your meeting with Prime Minister Sharon earlier today. What concessions is he willing to make to the peace process? Is he going to withdraw Israeli troops from the Palestinian areas?
I wouldn't call these concessions. I think these are steps he wants to take. He has no desire to keep troops in the Palestinian areas. It's a burden on him. It's a burden on his economy, on his military, on tourism, and a lot of other things. What he is hoping to do is to move side by side, step by step, with the new Palestinian Prime Minister, where both sides take steps. Let's not call them concessions. Let's call them steps toward progress down the road to peace.
Let's talk about the Prime Minister, Mahmoud Abbas, for a minute. Do you think he can bring an end to these suicide bombings as Yasser Arafat wasn't able or didn't want to do?
I think he is committed to that. He said he understands that this kind of activity must end. I told him on behalf of the President that we would be prepared to work with him and are going to be working with him to help him generate that capacity, but we are expecting him to speak out and make the politically difficult choices of moving down this road.
Now, Arafat can't be happy about not seeing you this trip. Is he just irrelevant at this point? Is he just out of the picture?
Well, I believe he should be out of the picture. I think he's a failed leader, but he remains the elected president of the Palestinian people. But the United States has made it clear since last year that we can't deal with him because we don't believe he has been a partner for peace. Other nations have different views. So we are trying to do everything we can to support Prime Minister Abbas.
Let me ask you about Jerusalem. They both want it as their capital. Is it realistic to think this could end up being a divided capital? Is that even in the running? Is it possible?
Well, we'll have to see. What we have found in previous negotiations with the two sides is that Jerusalem holds a special place in the hearts and minds and souls of both peoples, as well as many other peoples and religions around the world. And so the final status of Jerusalem will have to be decided by negotiations between the parties, and there are strong views on both sides. And that's why we have left the final status of Jerusalem to be one of those issues we will deal with at the end of the road and not at the beginning of the road.
Just a couple more things. Saddam Hussein, let's say he's alive, we find him. Do we try him in the United States? Does he get tried by the Iraqi people? What would happen if we find him alive?
That remains to be seen. I think the Iraqi people have a lot of charges they would like to levy against him. And let's hope that that's the way it would be handled. I think that would be the proper justice. But at the moment, we don't know if he's alive or dead. And that's the best answer anyone can give you on the matter of Saddam Hussein.
Now, how about you and Donald Rumsfeld? Are you guys going to be playing golf together anytime soon? How is that going?
Well, I'm not a golfer, but Don and I get along just fine.
Okay.
We have strong views, and we work for a president who encourages his cabinet officers to have strong views and present strong views. And it's a favorite parlor game in Washington to say, you know, who's ahead one day or the other, me or Don. Fact of the matter is, Don and I get along fine. We argue our views out, and we argue them out for only one purpose, so that our two views can help one person form his view, and that's the President of the United States.
Now, Dick Cheney is coming back in 2004. Will you stay on?
Jay, I serve at the pleasure of the President, and that's the best answer I can give and the only answer I will give.
All right, let me ask you this. Let's say you've solved everything. Everything's worked out great. What would you rather be doing?
Well, I'm very pleased to be serving my nation in this capacity, honored to be serving this president. But there'll come a day, Jay, when I will go back into retirement. And then you know what both you and I will want to do when we are both in retirement, and that's get together and play with our cars.
That's right. All right, tell you what, we'll do that. In fact, we'll have a race. Your Volvo against my Lamborghini. Oh. That's fair.
I'll beat you.
All right, you're on.
You don't know how you don't know how I can soup up a 1966 Volvo station wagon.
Sir, if there's anyone can do it, you're the one. So thank you. Thanks a lot. Keep up the good work. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
And thanks for taking the time
to talk to us. Thanks, Jay. Good talking to you.
You too.
Okay, today's Secretary Powell is in Cairo as his trip around the Middle East continues. And once again, here's Matt.
Nice job, Jay. Thanks very much.
He's a fascinating man.
He is, no question. Kentucky Derby winning jockey Jose Santos will be back in Louisville today. He'll meet with officials at Churchill Downs about a controversial photo which some people say shows Santos carrying an illegal object in his hand during the running of the Derby. Mike Battaglia is an NBC sports analyst who covers the Triple Crown. Mike, good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
So take me through this, the who, what, when, where, why. This photo surfaced after the Derby. What does it allegedly show?
It allegedly shows Jose holding something else in his hand other than the whip. Now, you have to remember this is one still picture, 1/8 of a second. And what it looks like is Jose is holding the whip with his thumb and forefinger. His other three fingers are like this, and it looks like there's an object right there. But that's only on one still photo. I've looked at other photos right after, right before. Jose twirled his whip. He went from left hand to right hand in the stretch. It's highly unlikely that Jose Santos had any kind of illegal device. But the picture surfaced, and Churchill Downs, the stewards, have started an informal inquiry. Nothing. Jose has not been charged with anything at this point, but he's meeting with the stewards today.
Let me take me back. Give me a little history on this. I mean, what type of illegal device might he have been carrying? What have jockeys done in the past to prod? I mean, isn't a whip enough to prod along a horse?
It should be, shouldn't it? Yeah, but I'll tell you, this is in the early days of racing. This was a lot more prevalent. They would carry an electrical device. It's about 3 or 4 inches long. You'd hold it in the palm of your hand. There would be 2 prongs coming out of this side. All right? You would touch the prongs to the horse's neck, and it would give him a little jolt, and supposedly the horse would run faster. With the advent of all this technology, with the pictures we've got, with all the coverage NBC had with the Derby, the camera angles, this just does not happen. It very seldom happens anymore. And especially in a race like the Kentucky Derby. Jose Santos has been around long enough. He knows the amount of coverage that the Derby gets. It would be ludicrous to think that he'd carry this. I guess there is always a possibility, but I'm saying very, very slight.
So, but real quickly, Mike, if you will, you can't interview the horse, so it's Jose Santos' word versus the picture. How does this end?
I don't think it's Jose Santos' word versus the picture. It's going to be the one picture versus thousands of other pictures that you'll see of this. And I think that what you're going to see is this one picture was a shadow. It could have been the silks of empire makers that's showing through his hand. I think it was absolutely nothing. Like I say, there's always a chance that something was there. I don't think so. I think this is a nothing story. I think that after today, the stewards are going to exonerate Jose Santos. Jose's a great guy. I think another problem was the interview with Jose, because he speaks Spanish, and he gave him some answers in English that didn't quite jive.
All right, Mike Battaglia of NBC Sports. Mike, thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt.
And you can see the Preakness Stakes, the second leg of the Triple Crown, this Saturday on NBC. What do you think it was?
You know, the sad thing is you're never found innocent. They just can't prove it.
Right.
You know, this is one of those deals where I don't follow racing, but now I know this man's name, and I know he's been accused of something.
And you'll have this question mark.
Yeah, and I have this question mark, you know, and it looked like he was holding macaroni, penne or something. You know, I don't know what he's, but, you know.
One of those little buzzers, you know.
It's a joy buzzer.
Yeah.
But I feel sorry for him because, like you say, he's never found innocent. They just can't prove it.
Exactly. Anyway, still to come on today, Katie and Jay trading places. We're going to find out how they prepared.
The capital of North Korea, Pyongyang.
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 Pyongyang. Pyongyang.
I think that's...
Pyongyang.
Isn't that a Jerry Lewis
Pyongyang.
movie? Pyongyang. Hey, ladies. Pyongyang.
We're back in a moment. This is Today on NBC. And still to come on today, Caroline Kennedy introduces us to this year's Profiles in Courage honorees, and you're going to be talking to the former mayor of New York.
That's right. I'll sit down with Rudy Giuliani, and he's got a book out. Well, a book that's a companion to his first book, or the last book, I guess, and it's a book of quotes from everybody from Mae West to Babe Ruth, and I'm curious to see how Mae West affected his life. I want to hear that.
It's your opening question after your local news. We're back at 7:30 on a Monday morning. It's the 12th of May, 2003. We've got a huge crowd packing our plaza this morning. It's always good to see them out there, but they've come down to see Katie today. They're not in luck. Katie's not here. Katie's on the other coast. And the reason she's not here is that I've got a special partner at the anchor desk today. The Tonight Show's, excuse me, Jay Leno. Jay, good to have you here.
Thank you. It's great to be here. We're trading places, and she's hosting the Tonight Show tonight. She's busy writing a monologue right as we speak.
Did you give her any help with the monologue?
Yes, I did.
You left her your worst jokes?
I told the writers to go home.
Yeah.
But she's got this snail joke she's working on that'll just blow the house out.
You want to tell the snail joke? Or is she going to do it on the air?
No, I'm going to let her do it. I think she may do it on the air tonight. Yeah.
Kills me every time. Just gets me right here. Also, you're going to be talking to former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani.
Right. His book has got a companion book with it on quotes and leadership, and he talks about the people that influence him. But there's some great people. Babe Ruth, of course, and Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, and Mae West. I want to find out how Mae West, it may have been when he dressed up on Saturday, I don't know. So I want to find out there. Plus, he's getting married again. I don't want to find out how involved he gets in picking the patterns, and I don't know, is this fruit cup going to go? And we'll find out how, is he going through the bride books? I mean, I want to find that out. So you'll hear all of that coming up.
Well, he's leaving. Rudy, come back. Come here. He doesn't know what he's in for. Also, we're going to talk to Caroline Kennedy about the annual Profiles in Courage Award bestowed on politicians who have best carried out her father's ideals. She'll introduce us to this year's winners. But before we get to all that, let's go outside on the plaza, get a check of the weather from Mr. Roker.
Today's weather is brought to you by new non-drowsy Halivert. Quick dissolving allergy medicine right when you need it.
Good morning. A nice morning out here on the plaza with some cuties. Who's this behind the American flag? What's your name?
Faith.
Faith? Nice to see you. And who's this?
This is Grace.
Grace is a year old today?
Yep. She's
All right.
her
Happy birthday.
birthday.
Where are you guys from? And you got a big awe from the crowd. That's all right. Oh, she wants the microphone. You can't have that for your birthday, sweetie. Hey, what are you laughing about? Let's check. You heard one of Jay's jokes. All right. Let's check the weather for you, show what's going on. Hey, tornado reports. Unbelievable. The old record for May was in 1995, 391 tornadoes. This year, May's not even over yet. We've had 431 tornadoes. Rest of the country, strong storms in western Texas. Luckily, the threat of tornadoes really down low today. Northwest looks wet. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms in Florida. Wet weather around the Great Lakes with a big upper low pressure system spinning around there. A few showers from the Adirondacks all the way up into northern New England. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. That's your latest weather. Now back inside the May.
All right, Al, thanks very much. Still to come on today, Trading Places. We'll go behind the scenes with Jay. Just how did he get ready for his morning gig anyway? We'll find out. And a little bit later on, Carrie Ann Moss tells us about reprising her role as Trinity in The Matrix Reloaded. After these messages.
The machines are digging.
Every May, the John F. Kennedy Foundation presents the Profile and Courage Award to those politicians most willing to risk their careers by standing up for what they believe is right. The award is named for President Kennedy's Pulitzer Prize-winning book and is bestowed every year near his birthday. Today, his daughter Caroline is giving the award to three men: former governor of Georgia, Roy Barnes, former South Carolina Governor David Beasley, and former Georgia State Representative Dan Ponder, Jr. Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Caroline, let me start with you. What do these three men sitting with you have in common, in your opinion?
Well, each one of them took a stand for what he believed was right. And it wasn't only that it was right, it was really what was really in the national interest: progress on civil rights and standing up for tolerance at a time when we really need to move forward and not backward to a time of hate.
We should mention, you know, we often, in talking about these awards and introducing the recipients, use the word former. And often that is because their stands, indirectly or directly, cost them their jobs. Isn't that right?
That's true, but I think these men stood up too on the issue of the Confederate flag and one against hate crimes, Representative Ponder. And even though they ended up sacrificing for what they believed was right, they knew it was the right thing to do, and they were willing to take the risk.
Governor Barnes, let me talk to you.
I think we need to.
I'm sorry, Caroline, go ahead.
We need to inspire more people to be as courageous as they are.
Governor Barnes, let me talk to you. Your life, your family's lives, your career were put in jeopardy by a stance you took that Caroline just mentioned to reduce the significance of the Confederate battle emblem on the state flag in Georgia. Why'd you take the stand you did at the time you did?
Well, it was not something that I really had planned to do, but it fell in my lap while I was in office, and finally, you finally come to a decision on having to make a choice of what's right and what's wrong. And when you boil it down to really what's right and what's wrong, you know that a symbol that is divisive and hurtful to a large part of the population shouldn't be the dominant symbol of a state. And after you make that decision, the rest is pretty easy. I feel very comfortable in my decision, even though it cost me re-election, and I'd do it again.
Well, as you were making the decision, Governor, did you realize that you might be writing your own political doom, and did you have any second thoughts at the time? Not now, but at the time.
Well, any politician that tells you they're not concerned about re-election is not telling you the truth. I knew I ran a high risk of not being re-elected. I had seen what had happened with Governor Beasley when he took on the Confederate flag in South Carolina. I had seen what had happened to former Governor Miller, almost losing re-election in 1994 when he took on the same issue. In fact, the night before I did it, I told my wife, Mary, I said, you know, I'm probably going to get beat in 2 years. And she had a great statement. We've been married 33 years almost. She says, well, you're doing what's right. And finally, you come to a conclusion that there are worse things than defeat. And the worst thing that can happen to you is if you lose your moral compass in determining and being able to decide what's right and wrong.
Governor Beasley, you did make a decision, took a stand 2 years into your term as governor in South Carolina to take the Confederate emblem off the State House dome. How tough a decision was it for you?
Well, it was tough, but you know, what Roy was saying, this is why I admire what Roy did, it was because he saw what happened to me, and yet he was still willing to go out there and put his political career on the line. And I admire that and what Dan Ponder did, because we need more political leaders that will do what's right, not what's politically expedient, not worry about a poll. But I remember calling my staff in and asking each and every one of them individually, said, I want you to assume that this will cause our defeat. The headlines will wipe us away and wash away all the good things we've done. Are you still willing to go out there and do what is right? And every one of them said, let's do it. And not one of them said, let's wait till after the election, which would have been the easy thing to do. But it was right. It was a tough time in South Carolina in American history because we had 31 church burnings just in the previous 5 years to this point. The KKK Museum had opened up in South Carolina, and incidents of racial hatred and discord were taking place across America. And to me, it was the right time to do it. It was a price worth paying for.
Representative Ponder, you gave an impassioned speech during a debate in your state over hate crime legislation that took a lot of people by surprise, even your own wife. Can you give me a brief synopsis of what you said and why you said it?
Well, Matt,
as the debate had started in the House, it was very divisive, and I'm a white Southern Republican, and I guess people are capable of being stereotyped even in that capacity. So perhaps they were thinking that I would speak against hate crimes legislation, but in fact, I, like most people, have been touched by intolerance and indifference during my lifetime, and the argument was quite the abstract, and I felt like if people would just put a face on the argument and look back in their own past, that in fact they had good things that had happened to them too.
As a matter of fact, you talked about kind of turning away from a family caretaker because she was black, and I think you told the legislators that you had made a promise to yourself that you would never be responsible for hate or negative feelings impacting someone negatively in the future. Is that right?
That's correct. This was a black caregiver who had worked for our family since before I was born, and at 12 or 13 I turned my head when she went to kiss me goodbye, and she confronted me and challenged me and said, "You didn't kiss me because I'm black," and at that instant I knew she was right, and had to confront that in myself at a very early age. But I did promise myself then, and I promised myself when she died, that never ever again would I look in the mirror and know that I'd let indifference impact a person's life, even if I didn't know them.
Most people in the room that day credit your speech with turning that vote around. The bill passed by a large margin. I should mention, Governor Barnes, you're actually the one who signed it into law. Caroline, what would you like young, aspiring politicians to learn from these three men?
Really that public service is really an honorable profession, that there is political courage at all levels of government today, across the political spectrum, and it's really something that all Americans need to be aware of, to celebrate when we see it, and to get involved themselves and try to make sure that our country is doing the right thing.
Well, Caroline Kennedy, Governors Barnes and Beasley, and State Representative Dan Ponder Jr., thanks very much. Gentlemen, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Up next, His Honor Rudolph Giuliani talks to Jay right after these messages.
Former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani inspired the nation with his leadership in the dark days following September 11th. Now he's put together a collection of quotes from leaders who inspired him. It includes the words of everyone from John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, to Mae West and Babe Ruth. It's called Leadership Through the Ages, a collection of favorite quotations. Welcome to the program. Now,
welcome to New York, Jay.
Well, thank you, thank you. He's giddy as a schoolgirl because he's getting married in a short time. Now, how is that going? Are you
getting married 2 weeks, in May 24th?
Okay. Now, are you involved? Are you doing are you picking the doilies and the fabrics and what the entree? That's going to be the salad. And
I'm just saying, yes, yes. I never say no. I just say yes.
Just show up.
And I'm going to show up, and Mayor Bloomberg is going to perform the ceremony at Gracie Mansion.
Cool. Well, who do you know? How did that happen?
Yeah. Well, I did 200. I did 200 weddings.
Oh, I see. I didn't know.
I did 200 weddings.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Let's talk about the book and some of the quotes. I can see Martin Luther King and certainly John F. Kennedy. Mae West.
It's the quality of the quote. I mean, at different times, different people said things that have a big impact on you. And of course, in Babe Ruth.
Right.
And Yogi Berra is included several times. My hero when I grew up was Yogi Berra.
Is there one out of all these people that you admire the most, or you would want to meet?
Oh, well, Ronald Reagan is one of the people I admire the most because I had a chance to work for him for a while, but I did meet him, and so I knew him personally. Winston Churchill. I think I'd like to meet Winston Churchill. I'd like to ask him, just exactly how much fear there was of invasion in the 1940s, and how much fear there was of what would have happened with the Battle of Britain had it gone in a different direction.
Right.
To me, he's one of the most dominant characters of the last century.
Yeah. I always remember my dad had a quote, and I don't know if it was his, but he always used to say, "Fight the good fight," and that's my favorite quote of all time, because it's from my dad, because no matter what fight it was, he always fight the good fight. And your book is filled with these. Even Stevie Wonder had an interesting one. Do you remember the Stevie Wonder?
No, which one was that?
That's the one about, let's see if we have it here, about you don't have to have your eye. Here it is, right here. Just because a man lacks the use of his eyes doesn't mean he lacks vision.
That's right.
That's a terrific one as well. That's a terrific one as well.
My father taught me, no matter how excited and no matter how panicked people become in a crisis, become the calmest person in the room.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to figure your way out.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought
and
that
I never knew why he told me that. There was never any reason for that. There was never, any reason why I would be more likely to be in a fire or something than anyone else. But he used to say that to me all the time. And it helped me a lot. I'd been in a fire before in my life, and it helped me a great deal on September 11th.
Yeah, because I was just going to say, because you appeared to be the calmest guy in the room, when everyone about there was losing their heads, you were, do this, do that. The one from John F. Kennedy, the quote, "For without belittling the courage for which men have died, we should not forget those acts of courage for which men have lived." What do those words mean to you?
Those words mean to me that heroism is not always giving up your life, but heroism can occur in many, many ways. And basically, it's the overcoming of fear. People sometimes confuse fear with lack of courage.
Yeah.
And the reality is, you've got to have fear and you have to overcome it in order to have courage. And I think that's what President Kennedy was saying.
You know, the one from Babe Ruth, never let the fear of striking out get in your way. Have you ever decided not to go with it for fear of striking out? Because I have.
Yeah, there are times in which you have to look at the risk and say, this is not a responsible thing to do, particularly if it involves other people.
Right.
But I think the point of that is you've got to try. And more often than not, you got to accept risk and you got to move forward. It's a good lesson for America right now. We have to accept the risk of terrorism, which is a reality that we have to live with. We have to prepare more for it, but then we got to go ahead and live our lives and not let it stop us from doing the things we normally do.
Right. Now, where are you going on your honeymoon? Is that a secret?
That's a secret. Otherwise, I'll have a lot of people going with me.
Okay. I just hope you kids don't jump the gun before the big event. All right.
Thank you, Jay.
Well, God bless you.
Have a
nice
good time
wedding
in New York.
And you have a lovely wife. And
thank you.
More right after this. Be right back.
Still to come on this unusual Monday morning, Carrie-Anne Moss is once again kicking butt and dodging bullets in the movie The Matrix Reloaded, and then clear the plaza. Jay's taking on a Mini.
That's right. A small size doesn't stop the Mini Cooper from doing some huge stunts in our plaza. There we are, skidding around. Watch me scare the hell out of it.
You're really good in this thing. I have to admit, I was impressed.
We had fun. It's great fun. It's a terrific little car.
All right, we'll do some stunt driving and talk to Carrie-Anne Moss. But first, these messages and a look at your local news and weather. Someone queued up the wrong part there. We're back at 8 o'clock on this Monday morning, May 12th, 2003. It's a kind of a cool spring day here in the Northeast. Cool spring crowd to go with it.
On a Jay Leno thing.
Absolutely, lots of signs in the crowd. Hope moms in the crowd had a nice Mother's Day on Sunday, and we had our belated best wishes as well. Meanwhile, inside Studio 1A, I'm Matt Lauer, and this is not Katie Couric. That's the Tonight Show theme music, and the reason we're playing that is because Jay and Katie are trading places today.
That's right. This is like a bad Pep Boys, isn't it? Manny, Mo, and Jack. We need a woman here.
Wait a second.
Yeah, there's something missing here.
Yeah. Who's who? That's what I want to know. Am I Manny or Mo?
I don't know, but I'm probably Jack.
Jack. You don't know Jack.
I don't know Jack. Exactly, especially this early in the morning.
Katie, of course, is out in Los Angeles this morning, and she's getting ready for her big appearance on The Tonight Show, getting her jokes fine-tuned for that monologue, right? And Jay has graciously agreed to get up early and have fun with us all week long. The whole premise here is that all week long, Katie, Al, Ann, and I are trading places with someone we think has an interesting job, and they'll be doing our jobs as well. And this has been an historic day, the first time that you have ever hosted the Today Show.
I guess that's true, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot different from our show. I mean, just the whole way it works, and there's no live audience.
Well, we got folks outside.
Well, people screaming out. Well, I have people outside too, but they're not. The signs aren't as friendly.
A little different deal.
Yeah, a little different.
Pitchforks and torches.
Exactly. Villagers. They come down from Burbank.
So you now join this kind of long, distinguished line of hosts: Dave Garroway, Tom Brokaw, Barbara Walters, Brian Gumbel, Jane Pauley, and we thought it would only be fitting to invite another former anchor here to welcome you.
In fact, I think the limo is pulling up right now.
All right, this is leading to something.
Please.
Let's see what we have here.
And our anchor is?
Bella, stand up.
Here he is.
Bella, come here.
A chimp. Well, okay, not quite an anchor, but J. Fred Muggs was a regular on Today for 4.5 years, starting in 1953. The chimp was originally brought in to bolster sagging ratings, and it worked. And now to bolster sagging ratings, we brought in Jay Leno.
Yeah, they couldn't get a Chimp. Chimp was not available, so Chimp wasn't available until now.
So we've got our J. Fred Muggs lookalike.
Here we go.
Bella, come on up here and say hello to Mr. Leno. Oh, hi, Bella. How are you? Come on up here. Can you come up?
How you doing?
Hey, come on over and say hi to.
Oh, well, there you are.
This is the big guy today.
I think he senses a father figure.
Come on, say hi to Jay.
Oh, come on over here. Oh, how are you? How are you? This is what we do at home.
Have you ever worked? Well, you work with animals all the time.
I work with animals all the time. Sure. So
Kevin Eubanks.
Yeah, the band.
The band.
Yeah, so this is kind of, well, certainly a friendly guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very friendly. And of course, you know, Jay Fred couldn't do it. Jay Fred, he made a lot of money, by the way,
Yes,
back
he did.
then for chimp times.
Oh, yeah. He bought a lot of McDonald's franchises.
When was that?
He's living easy.
That was 1953, so this is a timely joke.
All right, Bella, thank you very much.
Bella, thank you, Bella.
Give a kiss.
Bella.
Nope, no kisses.
Oh, there you go. It's a heartwarming moment today on the Today Show.
Coming up in this half hour, we're going to show you the rigorous journalistic training that Jay actually went through to get to this point.
It's a living nightmare.
And also, we're going to talk to one of the stars of The Matrix Reloaded, Carrie Ann Moss. But before we get to that, let's get the top news stories of the morning. And for that, we turn to the news desk and say good morning to Ann.
And good morning once again to you, Matt. Good morning once again, everybody. In the news this morning, Secretary of State Colin Powell is shuttling through the Middle East again today, trying to build support for a peace plan between the Israelis and Palestinians. At a news conference this morning in Egypt, Powell said that he had productive talks with Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak, but that challenging times are ahead. The U.S. and other nations are pushing a roadmap that would eventually lead to a Palestinian state. Today, terrorism will appear very real. The U.S. government is staging a simulated dirty bomb attack in Seattle, creating a scene of destruction to imitate deadly radiation spreading over a wide area. This is the first of two simulations in major cities to test the nation's readiness. It will be the most extensive terrorism drill ever in the U.S. Tomorrow, Chicago will go through a simulated biological attack. In the ongoing investigation into the 2001 anthrax attacks that killed 5 people and sickened 13 others, federal officials are now considering draining a pond in their hunt for clues. NBC's Pete Williams reports now.
It's a sign of how far federal investigators are willing to go in the year-and-a-half-old anthrax investigation. Acting on a tip, divers searched a pond last winter near Frederick, Maryland, a few miles from a key U.S. Army biological research facility. Sunk in the pond, they found a plastic box that some investigators believe could be a smaller version of the kind used in laboratories to handle dangerous materials. Investigators tell NBC News that no traces of anthrax were found on the box, no fingerprints either. Even so, some members of the investigative team think whoever made the mailed anthrax might have dumped the equipment used to make it into the pond or even waded in to do some of the work. But others on the team consider that unlikely. Those who've subscribed to the theory note how close the pond is to the apartment where a former Army researcher, Stephen Hatfill, once lived. Authorities once called him a person of interest in the case, but he has strenuously denied any connection.
I have had nothing to do in any way, shape, or form with the mailing of these anthrax letters.
Hatfill's lawyers call the pond theory far-fetched, but investigators say with no real break in the case, they're chasing every lead, no matter how implausible, and may continue the pond searches next month. Pete Williams, NBC News, Washington.
A Texas mother is behind bars this morning, charged with killing 2 of her sons and critically injuring a third. Police say Deanna Laney called them Saturday morning and said, quote, "I've just killed my boys." According to authorities, she used rocks to beat them to death, saying God told her to do it. Today, China reported another 12 deaths from severe acute respiratory syndrome and said that another 75 people have been infected. Taiwan also reported at least 6 new deaths. SARS has now killed more than 540 people around the world. And the New York Times has launched a full-scale investigation into the work of a former reporter, Jason Blair. Sunday, the paper disclosed that Blair made up quotes plagiarized from other newspapers and pretended to write stories from out of town when he was actually in New York. The paper said this happened on his stories on some major stories, including stories about soldiers, Jessica Lynch, and the Washington sniper case. Blair resigned after he was confronted. The Times calls the entire episode, quote, "a huge black eye." You're up to date at 8:07. It is now time for today's weather.
Today's weather is brought to you by Little Debbie, America's #1 snack cake. Pick up a box for your family and unwrap a smile today.
We're out here on the plaza, and this is one of the largest flat Stanleys I've ever seen. Now, Who does this Flat Stanley belong to?
My class is back in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Ah, and how? So are you on spring break or something?
I'm on track break. I'm on a break for a month.
Okay, great. Well, we'll say hi to your class.
Hi.
All right. Okay, let's check your weather. She took a real gamble coming out here with that. Sorry. Hey, big upper level low pressure spinning a lot of wet weather around the Great Lakes on into New England. Wet weather in the Pacific Northwest as well. Strong storms in western, southwestern Texas. We're also looking at windy conditions through the upper Ohio Valley. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. Leno fans from Texas. All right, let's head back inside the room.
All right, Al, thanks very much. Up next, Jay will take us behind the scenes and show us the bruising training that he went through to get ready to share the anchor duties.
And coming up later, Carrie Ann Moss tells us what's in store for Trinity and the long-awaited sequel, The Matrix Reloaded. I know because I saw it, but you'll have to wait right after these messages.
Trading Places Today is brought to you by GE. Imagination at work.
When Jay Leno accepted this assignment, he thought that television is television. How hard can a news program be? But as you'll see, Jay found out the hard way that Trading Places with Katie was not that simple. Here's a behind-the-scenes look at Jay preparing for his Today Show debut.
Got some goodies for you to get ready for your big morning dig. Perky pills. I take about 27 of these a day.
Wow.
And this is for Percocet.
For Percocet.
Like Percocet, get it?
Yeah, I get it.
We're gonna have a little tutorial.
All right, let's
on
try
how
this.
to pronounce some names.
Okay, let's do it.
Say his name.
Wolamirza Cinemazeswick.
No.
The capital of North Korea, Pyongyang.
Pyongyang. Pyongyang.
Pyongyang. Hey, lady. Pyongyang.
Jay, we're going to be doing this interview with the Secretary of State from the Middle East. What do you know about the Middle East?
I saw Lawrence of Arabia.
That's it. We've got a whole lot of research. So those are all the books and the research at the bottom about his trip.
I'll take a look at these. Do you just have like a Cliff Note version?
Cliff Notes? We're in trouble. Look at they are right there.
Hi, you guys.
Get funniest moves.
Hi, cute girls.
Hey, with the monkeys.
How are you?
You got some idea, you say?
Yes, I do. I'm going to tap the papers as you have to do every night after you finish the news. And make phony notes.
We're going to do real stunts here.
It's not a toy.
Exactly. And more importantly, this is going to be a live segment.
Live.
Right, okay.
So do something sensible. Don't act crazy.
Born to be wild. Born to be wild. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour.
Come in.
Hi, Mr. Leno. I'm Lee. I'm your PA.
Hey, Larry. How you doing? Hey, look at this. Good
got
Night
some-
Rider rerun on Spike TV Thursday.
Okay, you can catch that on Thursday.
Yeah.
Got some papers so you can be up on the
Okay.
news. Boston Globe,
Yeah.
LA Times,
Okay.
Washington Post,
Right.
and New York Times.
New York Times. Oh, I know this one. This is like the local paper, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no funnies in it.
Oh, boy. We're in a lot of trouble.
Why do they make these TV Guide crossword puzzles so hard?
Mr. Leno, please look here.
Oh.
For tomorrow, just so you know, every time there's a new wire coming in
Yeah.
for updates, there's going to be a red flash. And then also our executive producer might be top lining you.
Can I ask you something on this?
Yeah.
Can you get Tetris on this?
Tetris?
Yeah.
We're in a lot of trouble.
So, welcome to the big time.
Yeah. This is so much more serious than what we do on the Tonight Show.
Want to go for a spin? Come on,
All right, I'm with him. So how much sleep did you get last night?
Actually, I didn't get any sleep.
Zero.
No, I just stayed up all. I don't go to bed till usually 2:30 or 3, and I got to be here at 4, so I just stayed up the extra hour and looked at my notes.
Yeah. Scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the acting ability of the Today Show staff that we saw peppered through that?
1 to 10, huh?
You can go lower if you'd like.
No, they did a fine job.
Well, we're glad to have you here. And up next, Carrie Ann Moss will kick it into high gear, talking about The Matrix Reloaded. And don't forget, we'll take to the plaza in those Mini Coopers a little later on after these messages. The original movie, The Matrix, has been described as a sleeper hit that became a phenomenon. And the anticipation for the second installment of this trilogy has skyrocketed in the 4 years that it's taken to make. In The Matrix Reloaded, Carrie Ann Moss reprises her role as Trinity, who along with Neo and Morpheus must protect Zion, the last human city, from the machines that make up the Matrix. They have to do it at all costs.
Oh my God.
I'm in.
That's some good stuff. Carrie Ann Moss, good morning. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Is this one of these cases you read a script for a movie and it's basically just a guide? I mean, it seems so it would seem to me it'd be so confusing on paper.
Well, the directors are really specific. They're two brothers, Andy and Larry Wachowski, and they are so specific. The script is how it was when I first got it was how he shot it. Exactly.
He went word for word, line by line, direction by direction.
Absolutely, and they storyboarded every single moment of this film. So it's not like there's anything that's not completely thought out before we started shooting.
Does The Matrix Reloaded pick up exactly where The Matrix left off?
No, a little later.
A few
months later.
Fill in the gap for me.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, where The Matrix ended, then what's happened before The Matrix Reloaded starts?
Well, it's gotten a lot more intense now. The war has gotten more serious. More people have been unplugged from the Matrix, and it's gotten to a really intense time where it's sort of the end. You know, we're coming to the end of the fighting.
If someone didn't see the original movie, are they going to sit in the theater for this one shaking their head a lot, not knowing what's going on?
You know, I don't know. It's so hard for me. I'm so close to it, and I know it so well. I would recommend seeing the first one. I think you could still enjoy it and go for the ride and be just blown away by the visual and the story, but I think, you know, seeing the first one would really help.
Neo's got to go down and save Zion, all right? Which is the last human city. The machines are trying to eliminate it. But he also has to figure out who he is and why he is the one. Can you explain that a little bit?
Well, he has this purpose that he's been given, and Morpheus believes it. My character Trinity believes it, and the Oracle believes it. And he's the only one that really didn't believe it. Like in the first one, he wasn't quite sure. So this time around, he's becoming more confident about his role as the one. Still a little hesitant, but he's growing into it, and that's his journey in this second film.
He's more confident, but he also finds that out, and for people who haven't seen the movie, this is going to sound confusing. He also finds out that some of the information he had received from the Oracle may have been tainted.
Well, you're giving it away.
It seems to.
Yeah, well, and he's also he's riddled with fear and doubt as well, and yet he's struggling with his choices that he has to make. It's all about choice, this film.
One of the things that won't be giving anything away is there's some new characters in Reloaded that weren't in The Matrix. Tell me about the twins. I was going to say, who are they? What are they exactly?
They are an old program, and they are bad guys, basically. And they're two lovely guys from England, two twins that just were so lovely, and they'd get dressed up in these costumes, and you just would be terrified.
And who's the Keymaker?
The Keymaker is a character that holds the key. He holds many keys to the answer, to the door, to the way out of this war. And he's a lovely actor as well, Randall Duke Kim.
Is it strange Carrie Ann, to be living your life in this kind of world that's been created? I mean, if you take on another role, a drama, a comedy, you do the role, you go home, but you're really kind of, this is a culture. I mean, people are really wrapped up in the Matrix trilogy.
And I was wrapped up in it for 5 years of my life. I really, you know, the first Matrix, I did that, it came out, and then I had a little bit of a break, and then for 2 years I did these 2 films. But it's such a joy to play this girl, this woman, and to be part of it. It is such an experience being part of this film.
It's a hard film to do physically, and give me an idea of the training that went on, physical training for the role of Trinity.
We would start training as a group about 9:30 in the morning. We'd stretch for an hour, we'd kick then for another hour, we'd learn choreography for an hour, then we'd have lunch, then we'd do, you know, weight training or Pilates. I did a lot of Pilates, and it was pretty intense.
Because it's important that there is some contact in these fight scenes so they don't look fake. So it can't all be special effects.
Oh no, no, no! I got hit a couple of times, and I mean, I'm a girl. I've never, you know, had a fight, and I got, you know, seriously knocked down twice.
You broke your leg in the first week of doing this movie.
Of training.
So that sidelined you for 8 weeks or something like that.
Yeah,
How'd you break the leg first of all?
I was on the wire and I came down and I landed wrong and I fractured my tibia plateau. And so I was out for 8 weeks. Thank God we had 6 months to train before we were actually shooting. But it was pretty traumatic for me because I really had gotten ready to work. Like I trained for a month just so I was in really top physical shape, and then I just got taken down.
You mentioned that you shot 2 and 3 in the trilogy together, so we're going to see the release of The Matrix Reloaded, and then just a few months from now, the 3rd installment comes out.
Yeah.
So you're going to be talking about The Matrix a lot over these next 6 months.
Thank God I feel so passionately about it because I really do love it.
Well, congratulations.
Really
and
Thank
again,
you.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
the baby is due when?
Later, in a few months.
Later in a few months. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You look great.
Thank you so much.
And we're going to talk to some of the movie's other stars, including Lawrence Fishburne and Jada Pinkett, later this week. The Matrix Reloaded opens this Friday. And still to come on today, Jay does a little stunt driving in the plaza. After these messages, your local news and weather.
Oh my God!
We're back at 8:30 on a Monday morning. It's the 12th day of May, 2003. We're listening to the music of Sugar Ray. They're singing Fly off their 1997 album Floored. And that's our subtle way of reminding you that if you come down to the studio area on Friday morning, you'll get to see a concert by Sugar Ray as part of our Toyota Concert Series. And you're looking at some of the people who've gathered here this morning. Big crowd, and a lot of these people probably changed their plans and rushed down here because they heard that this man right here.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened. Yeah, that was it. They weren't coming in here like anyway.
Good morning, Jay. How you doing?
Good to see you. This is a lot of fun. I see why you love doing this job.
Yeah, we should tell people, in case they didn't know, this is all part of a Trading Places series we're running this week. Katie, Al, Ann, and I are trading places with people who do things that we think are fun, and Katie is trading with Jay.
Katie's been working comedy clubs all across the country this week, getting ready for her big debut tonight. She's going to blow the house out. She'll be great.
Well, let me ask you 2 questions. Were you nervous about this end of the bargain, and are you nervous for Katie tonight?
I was a little, you know, anytime you're out of your element, it's a little nervous. But no, I think Katie will be great because she's so pretty and cute that if the joke bombs, well, they'll laugh anyway. See, if a joke bombs, I get booed. With her, they go, oh, but it's Katie.
Have you seen any of the jokes that she's going to deliver?
I just know she's working on some snail jokes. She has one joke. I mean, she came in with one joke. She said, I have this joke. And I go, yeah, that's fine, but that's only 18 seconds.
She's told that snail joke to us here 65, 70 times.
That's how you work on your act. That is her act.
Perfected. Hey, speaking of the act, you're a car lover.
That's right.
Okay, and you're going to get to have some fun with cars this morning?
We are going to, and hopefully you'll have some fun with me too. We're going to get in these Mini Coopers and just slide around like they do in this movie, The Italian Job. So this will be very exciting.
Do you have a lot of cars? Do you have a Mini Cooper?
I don't have a Mini Cooper, but I do like them. The original Mini Cooper was launched well over 40 years ago, and now it's back and it's hotter than ever. It's featured in this new movie, The Italian Job. If you like stunt driving and action and people screeching, you're gonna like this movie. And we're gonna do a driving stunt in a little. I'm gonna scare Matt.
All right, I have to tell you that I watched Jay rehearsing this. He's very good at this. He's a good stunt driver. So you can smell the tires running right now. Also ahead, Josh Grayson. He's the last guy to get voted off American Idol. He's the Marine. You remember him? He got voted off last week. We'll check in with him, find out what his future holds. But before we get to that, let's get a check of the weather from Mr. Roker.
Today's weather is brought to you by Walmart Supercenter, your one-stop shopping convenience for fresh foods and all your household needs.
All right, it's safe to come back out on the plaza now. And this nice lady came all the way from my dad's home island, the Bahamas. What island?
Nassau.
Nassau. Oh, nice. What's your name?
Francita Hall.
Who's this with you?
This is my brother-in-law to be.
Oh, to be. All right. Well, that's great. Well, congratulations. Thanks for coming down. I like that. Let's check your weather, see what's going on. And you'll see that the week's temperatures, we are looking at above normal, make that below, much below normal in the Northeast, below normal for the eastern half of the U.S., below normal in the Pacific Northwest as well. Precipitation-wise, it is looking wet for about the eastern two-thirds of the country. The Pacific Northwest wet as well, dry in the Southwest on into southern and central California. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. Your latest weather now. Let's swing it over to Mr. Long.
Mr. Roker, thanks very much. Coming up next, Jay Leno burns some rubber. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Trading Places Today is brought to you by GE, Imagination at Work.
In the new action flick, The Italian Job, Mark Wahlberg and Charlize Theron make their getaways in BMW Mini Coopers. Here's why. Check it out. And here to give us a demo of what these cars can do are stunt drivers Sean Graham and Paul Swift. Don't try this at home. Of the film. F. Gary Gray did such films as The Negotiator, Set It Off. Good morning, how are you?
Excellent, I feel good.
Now, you described these cars as essential characters in the film, The Italian Job. Why were they so important?
Well, because we have a great gold heist and we set up a traffic jam, and the Minis are the getaway specialists.
Now, you used like 32 cars during the movie. What happened to the other 29?
We crashed them.
Did you crash a lot of them?
We crashed every single one of them.
Now, these guys have been burning rubber all morning. This is essentially what happens in the film, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Charlize crashed about 14 cars.
Now, Charlize, she did, yeah.
About 14 cars.
And Mark, so how much of the stunts were done by drivers?
Actually, the actors did most of the stunts. Yeah. The actors did most of the stunts. The stunt drivers only came in when we needed them.
And you shot it actually in downtown LA. It's not on a set, right?
Right. We shot in downtown LA, and we actually shut down Hollywood Boulevard.
And you drove in the subway.
We drove in the subway tunnels, the Metro Rail, and we shut down Hollywood Boulevard. That was the biggest thing.
How do you do that? You just go to the mayor and ask him, or?
The mayor, the governor, everybody.
Little envelope in the pocket? Sure, I understand.
A lot of that.
Okay. Here we go. Let's give it a try. I'm going to give this a try. See what it is. Yeah.
Crazy.
Give it a shot. We got to get Al in here.
You want Al?
All right.
We'll do one, then we'll come back and get out.
Get out of the way.
Look out. I'm running.
Shoot who's ready. Go what you got, Jay.
do me a favor. When you crash through the window of Dean and DeLuca, will you get me a latte?
I'll get you a latte.
Thank you.
Put your belt on, Al.
Seatbelt's always on.
Take Al for a ride.
All right. Here we go.
Ready to go?
Ready. Get closer to Matt! Oh, God. This time around, get closer to Matt!
I like doing the Today Show. I love doing the Today Show.
But have you ever done any driving like that before?
Yeah, intentionally. Weekend when I just come in here.
I mean, you've got a lot of cars, but you ever go to a track or a closed track like
yeah,
this?
I go to a closed track under controlled conditions.
And how did it feel from your point of view?
That's wild.
Al lost 10 more pounds.
That's right. Yeah, it's in the front seat.
All right, enough there. Anyway, and how do they handle? I mean, these
They handle great.
Yeah?
Terrific little car. It's a lot of fun. Boy, you can just throw it around. When you see, just throw it around. You just get in and have a good time.
You were really burning rubber.
Yes, that was burning rubber.
All right, guys, thank you very much. What are you going to do later? What do you have coming up still? I'm trying to think. You're pretty much done for the day, right? You can go drink coffee and...
I'm going to hang out.
Yeah.
Maybe burn some more rubber.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
We're going to be back with much more on a Monday morning special Trading Places edition of Today. This is Today on NBC. 22-year-old Joshua Grayson got a lot of attention as the talented U.S. Marine with a country western twang on American Idol.
Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, to love somebody the way I love you.
Unfortunately, last week, viewers gave Grayson his marching orders. Josh, good morning. Good to have you back here.
Thank you for having me.
Bummed out? Disappointed?
No, I mean, I made it as far as, fourth. So, out of 70,000 people, I was quite happy with that. I would have liked to continue, but American public voted, and I'm here. So.
You'd been seeing the writing on the wall, I would imagine, coming, because there had been talk for a couple of weeks that people thought you might be the next to go, and you kept surviving.
Right.
So it didn't come as a big surprise?
No. I was quite glad to go out on a high note. All the judges agreed that was my best performance of the show, and I just had a good time doing it. And I'm glad I got another chance to redeem myself after the prior week.
Let me ask you kind of a weird question, because there was so much talk throughout the course of the competition that you were the U.S. Marine.
Correct.
And some people felt that you were pulled along by this wave of patriotism in this country during the war with Iraq. And then the war ends, basically. Do you think then that the wave of patriotism kind of ended and you were let go?
No, and if it did, then that stuff like that happens. But I've always said from the beginning I wanted people to vote for me on my talent, not because who I am. And I've always said that. But if it happened, then it happened.
I think there were some people out there who were saying, great, U.S. Marine, and isn't it wonderful, and he's showing a different side of military service. There were some other people in the last several weeks who were saying, wait a second, U.S. Marine, he should be in Iraq fighting with the rest of the guys.
Right.
How did you feel about that?
It's unfortunate, not everybody's informed on how military things work, and they jump the gun on before they know all the information. And every Marine has their place, whether it be at a time of war in country or whether it be back home supporting those that are in the country. Everybody has their part.
So what did you do? You think that in some ways you kind of helped the image of the military and the image of the Marines by your participation in this show?
I hope so, because I was really trying to portray them as well as I could and represent and not disappoint anybody on the Marine Corps side.
Let's take a look at some of your performance, okay?
Just your job talking, you tell them in lies, yeah. Job talking, you wear a disguise. Job talking, so misunderstood, yeah. Job talking, you're really no good. Jive talking.
Do you think that country western and your style, country western style, in the end made you in some ways learn how to vote? I mean, it seems like this is a show about pop performances.
Right, and I hope not, because yeah, it's American Idol, but it doesn't say American Pop Idol, American R&B Idol, nothing like that. Or some of the other contestants would have been in trouble along right with me, because some of the other contestants don't do strictly pop. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to come in there and do what I love to do, and maybe, hopefully, lean some new ears towards a different kind of music.
At one point, didn't you and Clay Aiken sing the same song?
Yes, we did.
I mean, do you think that was a good thing, a bad thing? It's obviously easy to compare.
I think it was a good thing.
To Love Somebody was the song,
correct.
right?
Correct. I think it was a good thing because Simon said himself that it took a lot of guts, and I pulled it off. We had two different styles, and the arrangements of the songs were totally different. I had the instrumental drop out on one part, and I even went up a key, raised the key in the song, and he just, he sang the song in its entirety. So it was two different, arrangements of the song.
You're one of these guys now. You're a husband, a father, Marine, a performer. So how do you see the next 5 years of your life playing out?
Hopefully, I have some kind of record deal, or making albums, or singing on stage, performing for people somewhere, because that's what I love to do, and taking care of my family and my daughter, try to give them the best life that I possibly can.
Handicap the field for me, if you will. We've got Ruben Studdard left. We have Kimberly Locke and Clay Aiken. All right? You've spent a lot of time around these people. A
lot of time.
So what do you think's going to happen?
I think Ruben will win.
Why?
Based on everything that's surrounding him right now with the media and the judges, and he's pretty much out there. It's like an athlete that gets advertised, like let's say a college athlete goes real high in the draft and then ends up not doing much in the NFL because basically he was, a lot of media behind him, built him up bigger than he was.
But are you saying he's got the media hype behind him, maybe not the best singer in the group?
I think Clay is the best singer in the group. I mean, he's never missed a note. He's got a powerful voice, and he's not only does he got the best voice, I think, out of the three, but he's the most dedicated. I mean, if you look where he started at the beginning of the auditions with the way he looked and where he's at now, he's made the biggest jump.
It seems like what you're saying to me is the final two will be Ruben and Clay.
I think so.
You think Kimberly's gone this week?
I think so. I think they're going to have their David and Goliath matchup. That's exactly what I think is going to happen.
That's a pretty good way to put it, no question about it. Josh Grayson. Josh, good to have you here. Good luck with you.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
All right, 49 after the hour, we're back. But first, this is Today on NBC. Outside with Mr. Leno, Mr. Roker, and Ann Curry. And why don't you get a chance? By the way, have you ever met Lenny?
I met Lenny earlier today. Hello, Lenny.
Lenny is like,
good to see you. Good to see you.
Lenny and his friends are out here every single day for the last, 37 years.
Yeah.
What do you think about Jay hosting the Today Show?
Right? Thank you, Len. Thank you. And then, of course, the Land O'Lakes girl.
Yeah. you want to have a little fun and go around and talk to some people? I know a lot of them would love to talk to you.
Sure, let's talk to some people. Hi, folks. How you doing?
A little jaywalking.
Hi, we'll do some jaywalking. How's this gentleman? Hi, sir. How are you?
I'm all right.
Where are you from?
Connecticut.
We're in Connecticut.
I live in Meriden now.
Now, what do you do there?
I'm
That's the first time this has come up, hasn't it? Yeah.
I like to tell people I'm a musician, but I have a crummy job that I work every day.
What's the crummy job?
I'm a cashier at Walmart.
Well, you don't work it every day because you're down here.
I had the day off for some reason. They gave it to me off.
Oh, okay. Okay, that might be permanent.
Yeah. Dude, I was the guy that bought the Tonight Show clock, the Ed Hall clock. I met you last summer.
Oh, okay, the stalker. Yes, of course. Good to see you again. Good to see you. Well, nice to see you. How about this pretty lady? What do you do?
I'm an accountant in here in Ohio.
You're what?
An accountant.
An accountant in Ohio?
Yes.
And so you've run off with the money and you come to New York?
That's right.
Oh, there you go. So if you wonder where your money went, your accountant's down here in New York. Well, cool. Nice to see you. Another pretty lady. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
And what do you do?
Purchasing.
Purchase. Well, most women do that, but what do you purchase?
Raw materials.
Oh, raw materials. All right. What kind of company?
Gel coat company.
What is that?
The color you see on boats.
Cut right. I missed the doze off. No, it sounds exciting. I think if you're in the boat coating business, this is where you want to be. Here's another pretty lady. Hi, how are you? Where are you from?
Warsaw, Indiana.
What, Indiana? And Wausau, Indiana. What do you do there?
I'm retail sales, own a business.
Oh, okay. What do you sell?
A little bit of everything.
Little bit of everything. Well, all right.
Appliances.
We deal with
These people are eBay. Basically, is what they
They're
are.
in the witness protection program. They don't want to give much up.
Still to come this morning, we're going to take you behind the scenes of the Three's Company movie. And you're going to do something at Old Blue Eye's favorite
That's
restaurant?
right, Patsy's Restaurant here in New York. Over 60 years old.
Italian food?
You bet. You're going to love this stuff.
All right, all that coming up. But first, we'll take a break. These messages in your local news. And we're back on this 12th day of May. That's Jay Leno outside working the crowd. I'm not sure if it's the crowd he can't get enough of or daylight, but he's enjoying himself.
People in daytime.
And obviously the crowd is loving Jay as well. He's been nice enough to take part in our Trading Places series. He's playing the role of Katie today, and Katie's getting ready to take Jay's place on The Tonight Show tonight, so check that out.
He's really gotten into it. He shaved his legs this morning.
Meanwhile, inside Studio 1A, I'm Matt Lauer along with Al Roker. Jay's going to be back in a little while if we can get him away from the crowd. And coming up in this half hour, defying the odds, we're going to meet a young man with a rapidly progressing form of muscular dystrophy, but despite his disorder, he's taking on a full load of classes at Columbia University. We're going to talk to him and hear about the impact his disease has had on the whole family. Al?
All right. Coming up, the 1970s instant hit Three's Company soon became Three's a Crowd after Suzanne Summers' quick rise to fame put a strain on her relationship with her co-star. So in just a little bit, we're going to be talking with one of them. Joyce DeWitt will tell us about tonight's NBC movie Behind the Camera, the unauthorized story of Three's Company. And in our next half hour, we're going to be treated to an Italian feast from Frank Sinatra's old stomping grounds, Patsy's Restaurant, right here in New York City.
That's a legendary restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Also, a new book for every mom who's had to make that difficult decision, going to work or staying at home with the children. But before we get to that, let's head over to the news desk and say good morning to Ann.
All right, thanks a lot, Matt. Now, good morning once again, everybody. In the news this morning today, the U.S. government conducts the most extensive terror drills ever in the U.S. It will stage a mock dirty bomb attack with a simulated explosion in this vacant lot in Seattle to test federal, state, and local readiness. Later this week, Chicago will also get a simulated biological attack. Federal agents investigating the 2001 anthrax attacks in the U.S. are considering draining a pond in Frederick, Maryland. Some investigators think whoever mailed the anthrax used in the attacks may have dumped the equipment used to make it into the pond. Some potential evidence was taken from the pond last winter. A young Texas mother is in custody this morning for allegedly killing her two sons and critically injuring a third one. Police says Deanna Laney confessed, telling them that God made her kill her boys. Well, earlier on today, Sheriff J.B. Smith said that there was no emotion in her voice when she made that call.
We believe that she led the children out one at a time, murdered them. She even described where the rocks were that she murdered the children with. And the rock was probably rocks about the size of a dinner plate, average plate. And after she killed them, she laid the rock on their chest, underneath their chin, and then walked away from the house.
The boy's father was reportedly asleep during the attacks. President Bush will travel to Missouri tomorrow to meet with tornado victims. Strong storms hit Kentucky early Sunday, and a tornado killed one woman. Severe weather also pounded 5 other states over the weekend. And the X-Men excelled again at the weekend box office. X2 X-Men United held on to the top spot for the second weekend in a row, taking in $41.4 million, according to early industry estimates. Daddy Daycare was second, and the Lizzie McGuire movie was third. You're up to date at 3 minutes past the hour. It's now time for the weather.
Today's weather is brought to you by Little Debbie, America's #1 snack cake. Pick up a box for your family and unwrap a smile today.
Now we got a birthday girl right here. What's your name?
Blaze Hartschmidt from St. Louis, Missouri.
Wow, did you realize that we were going to have Jay Leno here for your birthday?
Yeah.
Yeah, you knew.
I was kind of going to miss Katie.
Oh, well,
Hi, Katie.
You can watch Katie tonight on The Tonight Show. All right. And here's a cutie here. What's her name?
This is Rachel.
Where are you guys from?
From Elkridge, Maryland.
And how old is Rachel?
Rachel's 13 months old.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Can we
it.
say hi to our big brothers, Travis and Jake?
No, I'm sorry, you can't do that.
Oh.
Oh, you just did. Never mind. Let's check your weather, see what's happening, and we'll show you. For today, big swirl of clouds and moisture up over the Great Lakes. Big storm there. A lot of wet weather in the Pacific Northwest, moving on shore. And we're looking at a lot of heat down south. Hit or miss showers and thunderstorms through the Gulf Coast. Sunny and warm as you get into the southwest. Windy in the upper Ohio River Valley. And again, the showers and thunderstorms fire up in the Pacific Northwest. Good news, though, is no really severe weather to talk about, with the exception of West Texas. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening. They're now back inside to Ann.
Today's Health is brought to you by Slim Fast. Delicious shakes, meal bars, and snack bars.
Al, thank you. This morning on Today's Health, a story of great struggle and inspiration from a family struck by a severe genetic disorder. NBC's chief science correspondent Robert Bazell is here to tell us all about it. Hey, Bob, good morning.
Good morning, Ann. There are 9 kinds of muscular dystrophy, but Duchenne's is the most rapidly progressing form of the disorder. It's an inherited disease that almost always strikes boys, 1 in 3,500. Children with Duchenne's initially show no symptoms, but then quickly begin demonstrating problems walking as muscles throughout their bodies disintegrate. For now, fewer are expected to survive past their mid-20s, but Ansel Lorio, now 18, is out to ignore those odds.
You're listening to Nina Simone on WKCR-FM New York.
Among his many accomplishments as a college freshman, Ansel Lorio hosts a jazz program on the campus radio station. He is also an accomplished clarinetist, and he takes a full schedule of classes. But one thing that does not interest him is biology or medicine.
Well, actually, the medical establishment probably puts me off from wanting to go in that direction.
Like most kids with muscular dystrophy, Ansel has gone through years of grueling treatments to try to support his failing muscles. His father, Joe, is a physician. His mother, Penny, a writer who has just chronicled the family's experiences with the disease in a book called Moonrise. She still recalls the day Ansel was diagnosed at age 3.5.
I think there are certain days that are, emblazoned in your memory. It was quite dramatic. I mean, it was, it's a fatal disease. Your son will be in a wheelchair by the time he's 12. He may not live to be 20.
Muscular dystrophy is really about a loss of control, isn't it, by everyone involved?
Well, that's a very good point. That's a good way to look at it. Very much so. And I think it's also, it's about losing your future in a certain way.
In her book, Penny documents the struggles of raising a child with Duchenne's, the impact the disease has on the entire family, and the isolation that a disabled child often feels. How would you like people to relate differently to you from what they do?
Well, I mean, I'm sick of all the wheelchair jokes, like you're going too fast and everything, but being in a wheelchair, it actually makes people look down on you physically, not only like mentally, and I think that people need to be able to get over that and talk to you as an equal.
I'm here.
A lot of people know of muscular dystrophy because of Jerry Lewis's annual Labor Day telethons that raise money to combat the disease. Because of funding from the Muscular Dystrophy Association, 2 years after Ansel was born, it was one of the first disease genes to be identified, leading to great hope the disease could be cured or at least prevented by genetic testing to identify carriers. But Dr. Eric Hoffman, who was one of the scientists involved in the project, says the researchers quickly found the gene was very large and complicated.
Diseases like cystic fibrosis probably will be screened out of existence over the next couple of years. That will never happen with Duchenne dystrophy because it's such a huge high mutation rate. So all the time the gene is constantly mutating in everybody worldwide.
The key, says Hoffman, is better medications to both improve and extend the quality of life for kids with the disease.
Clearly it's important to treat these kids. Right now they're really not treated. Most of the parents are told to just go home with their child and there's nothing we can do.
Hoffman and his team at the Research Center for Genetic Medicine in Washington, D.C. are now involved in several projects that may soon offer some hope to those with the disease.
We have 20 drugs that make mice better. Let's see which helps patients. We need to show what works, what doesn't. We need to start things in combination.
But Penny Wolfson says she learned early on not to hope too much, as many parents do, for a miracle cure.
It's a very tough way to live. I think it's like falling in love all the time and having your heart broken.
So you understood pretty early on that science could break your heart if you depended on it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, we're also, I mean, Ansel's done exceedingly well, much better than many, many children with muscular dystrophy. So we've been, I think, much luckier, and we haven't seen that extremely rapid deterioration.
Do you let yourself think about the potential life-threatening nature of what you have when you think about your plans for the future?
I sometimes do, but I mean, I think that, I mean, who knows what's going to happen for everyone? So I mean, I try not to think about that much, and I don't even think it's that important to. I mean, who knows what the future is going to bring?
Ansel hopes his future will include a career as a lawyer, defending the rights of other disabled adults. Penny, on the other hand, tries not to look too far ahead.
No matter how much Ansel deteriorates, and he has certainly gone from being a child who could run around and walk a half a mile to being a wheelchair-bound individual, it is hard to imagine life without him. You know, and you know, even though we see the deterioration, that's something you kind of you put in the back of your mind.
We've been reporting on muscular dystrophy for many years, and you can see that great breakthroughs often don't happen, but incremental progress does, and Ansel is a great example of that.
Exactly. It's a great boy and a great example of why we need to find some cure for this terrible disease.
But you might not find the instantaneous cure, but you can keep letting people live longer and longer. He's beat the odds already. Many more kids will continue to beat the odds.
I think his story this morning will be inspiration for a lot of other kids. Thank you so much, Bob Bazell. By the way, you can find an excerpt from Penny Wolfson's memoir, Moonrise, on our website at today.msnbc.com. And up next here on Today, Three Companies star Joyce DeWitt on tonight's unauthorized story of the 1970s sitcom, Good Morning Joyce, and later, Veal Cutlet Milanese a la Frank Sinatra, courtesy of the famous Patsy's Restaurant. We'll be back right after these messages.
When the sitcom Three's Company hit the airwaves back in 1977, nobody predicted a show about two young women forced to take in a male roommate could become an instant hit.
How did you get him to change his mind? Easy. I just convinced him that nothing would happen between Jack and us. But how did you do that? Well, I told him that Jack was a decent, respectable, hard-working young man.
And that did it?
Not quite. I also told him that you were gay.
But as the show's popularity grew, so did the tension behind the scenes. Now NBC takes a look at the sitcom's unfolding drama in the TV movie Behind the Camera, the unauthorized story of Three's Company.
What's this? Scripts.
We have 2 scripts to learn?
Yeah, the blue one's without Suzanne, the pink one's with her, depending on whether she shows up or not.
Oh, come on, Ted, this is ridiculous.
I agree. Why don't you take it up with the network?
Oh, the prodigal daughter returns.
Excuse me.
Joyce DeWitt played Janet Wood on Three's Company and narrates the TV movie. Joyce, good to meet you.
Thank you. It's very nice to meet you, too.
All right, before we get into the controversy, you know, were you surprised back then that, looking at it now, how controversial, how racy the idea of two women living with a guy actually was back then?
Well, at the time, it had never been done, so it was an unexpected occurrence. Now, again, as you say, against the things that we see on television, it's like, oh, wow, that's pablum.
You know, the show was kind of panned by critics, the original program, yet audiences love it. Why do you think it proved to be so successful?
You know, it actually wasn't panned by all the critics. There were some critics who didn't catch on to what we were trying to do, and as John used to always say, we weren't just trying to make people laugh, we were trying to find somebody in America who would fall off their couch laughing. And so we were trying to do anything as silly as possible that we could in order to create really large laughter. And I think the show was successful primarily because people could tell how much fun we were having when we were doing it. I mean, it really was a blast to do that show. We had a darn good time every week.
I mean, the show started as an ensemble, but as Suzanne Somers' popularity grew, we all read about everything that was going on, that, you know, Suzanne was being difficult. What do you think in looking back at this, what was the main problem?
Gosh, nobody's ever asked me that, and I don't spend my time trying to decide to judge other people and their behavior, so it isn't something I've ever really thought about.
But is it safe to say that the movie does a lot and deals a lot with the tension between you, Suzanne Summers, John Ritter, the producers?
It is safe to say that, yes, and if it were my movie, it would have been a movie that celebrated the joy of the show.
But you're listed as a producer of the movie.
I am, but I came in quite in the 11th hour. They presented their script to me and asked if I would introduce the movie for them. And after 3 weeks of walking in the mountains at home in New Mexico and trying to decide what to do, because if you enter something like that and you don't have control, it's a very scary thing. At the same time, based on what I had read, it was also scary not to get involved for the sake of all the people that I love who spent 8 years putting it together. Not that it wasn't beautifully written. Elisa Bell's a marvelous writer, but because no one who had lived through the circumstance was involved, it searched for accuracy and did not find it. So I decided
So is it do you consider it a true depiction of what happened?
If you consider the fact that these executive producers have chosen only to focus on the challenging times and not on the celebratory times, yes, then that was a part of the reason I decided to get involved, so that I could steer it towards accuracy.
We have a clip.
Okay.
We have a clip that takes a look at this strained relationship. Let's check it out.
Have you seen this?
Oh, have you seen these? You can only spend them in the United States of Suzanne. Coming through! Fabulous Suzanne Summers, ladies and gentlemen!
Hey, guys! Suzanne!
Oh, it's the girl on the bill.
They're doing a day in the life documentary on me.
Oh, good.
Okay, so this is my dressing room. It's the same size as John's and Joyce's. Yeah. Come on in. See you guys later.
You're watching this and you're kind of like shaking your head. Do you think that people are gonna come away with the wrong impression about the entire experience of Three's Company?
You know, if they think that this is the whole story, they would. Indeed, this focuses on what would be considered the challenging times of the show, which were a very small portion of our time together. Most of the time at Three's Company was an e-ride from Disneyland, and everyone who worked there, crew, staff, everyone will tell you that. However, that having been said, this is a really good television film. Notwithstanding that I may have chosen to make one that was more celebratory, it is such a fine version of TV filmmaking. It's interesting, it's unexpected. The interviewers who I've talked with, like from the New York Times and Washington Post, I mean, really fine people in their field are finding it just amazingly unexpected because it's such a good piece of TV film.
It has gotten good reviews, and so
it deserves it.
There
It's
you go.
really a good. I think anyone who watches the first 5 minutes will not be able to turn it off.
Well, can't ask for more than that. All right. Joyce DeWitt, thanks so much. And Behind the Camera, the unauthorized story of Three's Company airs tonight at 9, 8 Central, right here on NBC. And we're back right after these messages.
Back on a Monday morning, the 12th of May, 2003. It's getting nicer here in the city, although still a little overcast. But as you can see, we've got a nice group of people gathered outside our studio windows. And they're delighted, no doubt, that they have a surprise this morning. A guest hosting appearance by The Tonight Show's Jay Leno, who's filling in for Katie, who's filling in for Jay, as we continue with our trading places. Good to see you.
Well, good to see you. This is like one of those Girls Gone Wild video without the... You know that part. Snoop Dogg's nowhere.
How's it gone so far? I mean, any surprises?
Great. It's a lot of fun. No, everybody's been great. You guys have all been very supportive, and it's very exciting.
Well, it's not like we're going to invite you here and then brutalize you or something like that.
It has happened. It has happened.
And Katie, as we said, is getting ready to stay up late and do Jay's job tonight. Brushing up on her monologue, and she's got guests, I would assume, as well. Any sketch comedy and things like that?
I'm not sure. I heard talk of a tummy tuck, a buttock lift. She's in L.A.
What? Yeah. You connect the dots, right?
Again, I don't want to say.
Yeah. Not that she needs one.
There has been talk. Well, no, but it's mandatory. It's the law.
Once you cross the border,
you've got to go.
You want to talk to some more people?
Let's talk to some more people. Hi, everybody. Who's this girl?
Excuse me?
Who are you?
I'm Karen.
Karen, where are you from?
I am, we're coming up from Philadelphia today. We're about to graduate from vet school.
Oh, from vet school. You're going to be veterinarian?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So you'll be able to work at veterans hospitals. That's fabulous. Cool. Well, congratulations on being doctors. That's great. How about the lady in the hat?
Hi.
Where are you from?
From Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. What do you do there?
I'm a traveling nurse.
A traveling nurse, yeah. I'm not a police officer, that's fine. Yeah, she's a traveling nurse officer, giving sponge baths out of the back of her station wagon. Well, God bless you, that's wonderful. Who is this young lady? Who is
Linda
this?
Barfield.
This is
from
Linda?
St. Louis, Missouri.
And what do you do?
I am an insurance agent, and I want to say hi to my daughter Stacy in Colorado, my daughter Julie in Portland, Oregon, and my son John lives in New York, so we're in 4 time zones.
You know, you don't have enough children, I think. Well, congratulations. Well, nice to see you.
Here.
How about this gentleman? Oh, go ahead. Who are you?
Ryan Rasmussen from Beaver, Utah. I'm a stay-at-home dad. We're just in the city.
You're a stay-at-home dad. And where are the kids now? You just put food on the floor? You put food on the floor, he's out for the weekend, basically.
Yeah, I want to say hi to Shay and to Braxton. That's my 2 kids.
Oh, cool.
That's
Cool.
great.
Well, there
Good
you
to
go.
have you here.
Good to
Yeah,
see you all.
good job.
We could not invite Jay here without feeding him, right? So
Absolutely.
What do you got? What do you got?
Patsy's Restaurant, which
I
is
know
a
Patsy.
landmark. Everybody from Old Blue Eyes to
Yeah.
Jay Leno is eating there.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
going to make, Sal is going to be making one of Frank Sinatra's signature dishes.
And what is it? What is the dish?
It's a fabulous.
He can't
It's a
remember.
veal chop. I'm trying to get it out.
Okay, I thought you forgot.
You know, in comedy, it's about timing. Thank you. I don't jump in when you pause during the news.
Welcome to breakfast with the Bickersons.
That's right.
here.
It's a little dysfunctional family.
Now you see why I work alone. Yeah.
it's a veal dish.
Veal dish, veal chop
dish.
milanese, as Ann mentioned.
Great. Anyway, before we get to all that, you want to give us a check of the weather?
I don't think so. Yes, I do. Let's check it out, show you what's going on. And we're going to show you for the week ahead, much below to below normal, the eastern half of the country, below normal in the northwest, above normal, midsection of the country. It's going to be nice and dry from West Texas into the southwest, wet weather from the southeastern states all the way up into the plains in the Pacific Northwest. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods. Well, here's the game.
All right, Al, thank you very much. We're going to do a little cooking on a Monday morning with Mr. Leno. But first, these messages.
What happens when a well-educated, career-minded woman turns in her briefcase and power suits for backpacks and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Well, Danielle Crittenden covers all of that and more in her novel Amanda Bright at Home, which follows one mother through the day-to-day dilemmas and sacrifices she makes to stay home to take care of her children. Danielle, great to see you. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
This novel was first published as a serial in the Wall Street Journal.
That's right.
And the editors were surprised by the barrage of emails they received from women all across the country?
Yes, I mean, I think we were all startled. First, it was an experiment to write it week by week, which I was doing while taking care of my own children at the same time. But yeah, I think it just touched a chord that this is a group of women who hasn't really been written about, which is this overachieving generation of women who are leaving everything behind them to stay at home. And Amanda Bright is one of these women who grew up thinking she'd have a career and is now sort of comically going out of her mind at home, and yet also trying to value who she is and what she does at home.
These are the daughters of the
Yes.
feminist revolution.
Yes.
Are you seeing this as a trend in creating, Amanda, that this is something that's occurring in a significant degree in this country?
It's everywhere. I mean, you can look in the statistics and see that the number of women with children are starting to drop. But I look as a journalist, and I saw this happening around me with my friends. And Amanda very much is this generation that she never thought she would do anything but work. She never even thought about being a mother. And so when she becomes a mother, it's this huge culture shock for her. I mean,
she's completely not ready for this.
She's completely not ready for it. She's not ready for what it's going to do to her life. She's not ready for what it's going to do to her marriage. She finds herself, on her hands and knees in the carpet, cleaning up after what we call suicide bomber Kent. I mean, there's all these body parts and pulling Cheerios out of the rug and chauffeuring her kids around while ducky music is playing in her car. And she's saying, how did I get here? This is not me. This is not who I was.
A question I have heard asked from so many career women who have stayed at home or who have children at home. I mean, she really starts to struggle with her self-identity. And this especially happens when she has her third child.
Yes.
You're the mother of 3. To what degree is Amanda you?
I think she's me in the way that Amanda is so many of us who are doing this. That it's having a child, especially your first child, but even with the third, you're not really prepared for what an explosion it is in your life, how it's going to change your life, and especially how it's going to change your marriage. So one of the struggles of Amanda is she's married a modern husband. He sort of expects that she was going to work, and she's got to kind of persuade him and give him a good reason why she shouldn't
when
work.
She actually herself expected that she was going to work.
I mean, it hits her like a bomb, her decision to quit. I have a scene where she's dropping her first son off every day at this very nice little homey daycare center with church ladies. She drops him off, then she turns around and, like Bruce Willis in the last scene of an action movie, starts running, from the daycare center as goes up behind her, and all the ladies are saying, "Just go, just get out, just get out." And it's at that moment where she says, "Why am I doing this?" And that's why she decides to quit. And it's very hard financially for her to do so. It's a real struggle, and she and her husband have to work out this life that they always assumed would have two incomes. How are we going to do it on one?
We should mention that you also are the author of What Our Mothers Didn't Tell Us: Why Happiness Eludes the Modern Woman, which some people consider an attack on traditional feminism. To what degree did you hope that this book with Amanda would show women that staying at home with their children is the morally correct choice, is the right thing to do for our families?
I think I wanted to explore these ideas. I mean, whenever you write about women, in either way, it's controversial, and you get accused of saying this or that. And this is not about judgment. To me, I am just fascinated by this whole issue of a generation not prepared to be motherhood. What happens to us when we become mothers? How do we work it out? Because it's not to say that you can't do anything else in life. And Amanda's struggle is figuring out how she can be a mother and value that role. And then slowly, as her children get older, what else she can do, how she can change. But it's very difficult. It's very complicated. It's often, as we know, very funny. And it's really just a further exploration of these ideas.
Do you want, though, women to come away from this with a blueprint, or do you want women to come away with this with a better understanding of all sorts of the range of issues, understanding that women themselves come to read your book from different points of view?
I think it's understanding about choices and the choices we make. And I think Amanda vividly shows what a difficult choice this is. It's a real struggle for her, as it is for so many women. And at one point in the book, she decides, she can't take it. She's gonna go back. Other things happen. But learning to value that identity, learning to value what you do at home, learning to value the work you do without a paycheck, these are things Amanda has to come to terms with if she's going to be happy, if she's not going to go out of her mind.
One of the things I've heard women start to say more and more is that we should not belittle the power, the potential, what the achievements of mothers, and that the world, society, has really kind of put mothers and motherhood and the job of mothers sort of under the rug, as not being as important as the other kinds of contributions.
Or they've made it a kind of weird status. I mean, Amanda's having financial struggles, but she's surrounded, this is set in Washington, by these women who are very rich, who have quit their jobs as lawyers and things, live in these huge houses, and can still afford the 3 cars in the driveway. And so so for some it's kind of this perky status, well, we can still afford it now that I don't have that second income. But for Amanda, it's a real financial struggle.
Which raises all kinds of issues, which is the point of the book.
And insecurities, yes.
Danielle Crittenden, great to talk to you.
Thank you.
And best wishes to you.
Thank
and
you.
We should tell you that you can find an excerpt from Amanda Bright at home on our website at today.msnbc.com. And up next, they started cooking in 1944 and haven't stopped since. We're going to sample an Italian feast from Patsy's Restaurant. But first, this is Today on NBC.
The best is yet to come, and babe, won't it be fine?
Today's Kitchen is brought to you by Dramatic Results, Age-Defying Skincare from the Pond's Institute.
Come the day you're mine.
This morning on Today's Kitchen, Patsy's Italian Restaurant. Of the thousands of restaurants in New York City, very few withstand the test of time, and only one can lay claim to being Frank Sinatra's favorite.
We've only tasted the wine.
The first time my father met Sinatra, Tommy Dorsey brought him into our restaurant, and he said to my father, "Patsy, I want you to fatten up this kid. He's too skinny."
And for over 50 years, Frank Sinatra kept coming back, often with his buddies, along the way creating a star-studded clientele for Patsy's.
Almost every celebrity that you'll find on the Wall of Fame
in one way or another, you could trace back to Frank Sinatra.
Come fly with me.
Sinatra brought Jackie Gleason, who then invited Tom Hanks. Rosemary Clooney came in with Frank. She then dined here with nephew George, who in turn escorted Julia Roberts. And Patsy's remains a Sinatra family tradition. The night we were here, Nancy Sinatra's boots walked right on in.
You keep saying you got something for me.
In the heart of New York's theater district, Patsy's authentic Neapolitan cooking is all about family.
Patsy's has been open for 59 years now, and there's only been 3 chefs. I'm the third-generation chef here. Before myself was my dad, and before my dad as the chef was Patsy Pasquale, my grandfather.
Good evening.
And no matter who you are, Patsy's makes you feel at home.
Everybody is a special person that walks through that door. Everybody is a celebrity.
Especially Old Blue Eyes.
He was true to us like no one else. He was a friend.
'Cause they can't take that away from me.
All right, and all the family recipes. Yeah. As well as some great Sinatra stories can be found in Patsy's cookbook. Sal Scognamillo is the executive chef of Patsy's Italian restaurant. I have been there many times. Sal, it's good to see you.
Happy to be here this morning. Thank you.
You know what? I've come in and I've looked on the wall and seen the stars. I mean, you grew up in this incredible experience. Did you know what it was? I mean, could you appreciate it growing up?
You know, you don't realize it sometimes, some of the best things until afterwards, but I really did appreciate meeting some of my heroes, whether it was Frank Sinatra, Jackie Gleason, these people growing up. It was an incredible experience, incredible experience. And I think the only time I got really nervous was when I actually met Sinatra.
Really?
That was a real nerve-wracking.
Do you remember the first time?
I do. Actually, we have a side entrance that he would come in, and we'd have to escort him up the side entrance, and there was a curtain that I had to hold back for him to come in, and I held it with my right hand, and that's when he extended his hand to shake my hand. I let the curtain go in front of him. I didn't sleep for 2 days. I was only 14, and you know, it's just how you say you're sorry. But he always made me feel at ease. Once I took over as the chef in 1985, full-time, I was trained by my dad. He would pop his head in the kitchen and say, "Hey, make sure you do as good as your pop," you know. So make you feel at ease, no problem.
There were so many great stories, but one I loved. There was a one-upsmanship story between Frank and Sammy Davis Jr., part of the Rat Pack. Tell me that one.
One night upstairs, they were together upstairs, and they were doing that song, "Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better." So Sinatra would do a little soft shoe, and then Sammy Davis would do a little soft shoe. Sinatra would sing the note, Sammy Davis would sing it over, and go back for a little while. And finally, Sammy Davis had had enough of getting topped by Frank Sinatra. He took off his glasses and he pulled out his glass eye and rolled it around. He said, "Top that, Mr. Chairman." That was the end of the contest. He said, "You won." That was it.
You're going to make Frank's favorite dish.
This is one of the things he really loved, the veal cutlet Milanese. And what we do is we have some seasoned breadcrumbs here. We have some plain breadcrumbs. We take the bread and...
Fresh breadcrumbs?
This is fresh breadcrumbs. We make it from the bread in the food process. Of course, you can buy them. We add a little bit of parsley to it. If you could add a little bit of salt for me, a little oregano, some of the Parmesan cheese.
Oh, what the heck?
Oh, go ahead. A little fresh pepper, of course. And what really is nice here, if you could stir it up for me, is it stays moist by putting in the extra virgin olive oil. That really comes nice, and you can smell the cheese and everything. And it stays good for at least 2 weeks in the refrigerator.
Where did your grandpa and then your dad come up? Were they trained as chefs?
Actually, my grandfather learned on his own. He learned in Naples. And when he came to Italy, he came from Italy to here. He worked in many different restaurants, eventually opening his own called Patsy's. And he did a good job with it all these years. And he was the chef, then my father, and then myself. Now we have some.
Got the breadcrumbs.
We've got some already breaded here. We're going to start to fry these here.
So you dip it. First you dip it in.
Yeah, we're gonna dip it first in the flour.
First in the flour.
And then we're going to put it in the beaten egg.
Okay.
And then we have the seasoned breadcrumbs already laid out here. And you got to get, you got to have the oil nice and hot, so this way it's nice and crispy. We have some already ready here. This way you can get them frying up nice. And that's the way he liked it. We used to pound them very, very paper thin for him.
Right.
Because they come crispy that way. And if the oil is hot, then you won't absorb as much of it.
So you got to be careful as you add more and more in because the temperature will drop.
It cools down the temperature. You don't want to crowd the pan. So just enough like that. In about 2-3 minutes, they're done.
You know, so many people have said, geez, Sal, why don't you guys, I mean, you're so successful, why don't you expand? How come there's only the one Patsy's?
Well, we have, you know, just the one and only one location on West 56th Street. There are other places with similar names not affiliated with us. But where we expanded really was our cookbook now, and we have our jarred pasta sauces. Patsy's pasta sauces we sell all over the country. So that's something we felt we could keep a better control on than opening another restaurant, because we are control freaks.
Because there's just you and your dad.
My father, my cousin. And we have, you know, we trust them behind the register, only family members. So gotta make sure. You know, if you expand, you gotta have more family. Otherwise,
this is cooking up. Tell us what else you brought.
We have some other dishes that are in the cookbook. We have the rigatoni sorrentino, which is baked rigatoni with 3 cheeses: Parmesan Reggiano, ricotta, mozzarella.
And really quick, how long on each?
About 2 minutes. It's almost ready to turn now. If you want to give them a flip, we can do that. Okay. And that's it. See, they get nice and brown there. Perfect. See, you know, the thing is not to burn them and not to put too much, you know, at a time, otherwise they start to burn.
Right. And what else? Is that like a
timbali of pasta we have here, which is very popular. It was made popular in Big Night, the movie Big Night. And that's a beautiful, beautiful dish made with penna pasta. Well, there's an eggplant on the outside, fried eggplant on the outside. Another one of Frank's favorite was the stuffed artichokes that we have over there. Here's some finished veal cutlet Milanese here.
Want to blow on that first.
It's a little bit hot.
You want to feel your tongue.
And we have the
tiramisu.
Tiramisu is the most popular dessert since 1988.
Not bad.
And we have the chopped salad, which seems like a simple dish of iceberg lettuce, pimentos, anchovy, a little bit of oil, and we use Cabernet vinegar, you know, red wine vinegar, no balsamic. It's just a simple thing, and it just sells so well.
What was the most popular dessert before 1988?
Well, we always sold the cheesecake. The ricotta cheesecake was very good. Good question, actually.
All right. And if you want to check out the recipes, take a look on our website at today.msnbc.com. Sal, thank you so much.
My pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
My good friend Pascali.
Oh, that's good. I hope you enjoyed everything.
Hey, listen, before we go, we want to thank Mr. Jay Leno one more time.
Great job.
Thank you.
That okay?
If your nighttime TV gig doesn't work out, you could try TV in the daytime. You do just fine. And
we think we have a future.
Katie's going to be doing your show tonight.
Yes.
What's the last minute advice for her?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
She'll be on The Tonight Show this evening. Check it out at 11:35. That's 10:35 Central Time. She trades places with Jay later in the week and trades places with soccer superstar Mia Hamm. Al with one of the finest chefs and restaurateurs in the world.
Other than Sal.
Other than Sal.
Danielle Ballou.
And I will trade places with a New York City cabbie named Dave.
I think you ought to have Jay drive for you.
I think we'll pass on that.
Great idea.
You're a good sport. Good to have you here.